Hi, welcome back to Shawnee Hill's Workshop. Today we're going to talk about chainsaws. So if you all have been watching my channel for a while, you know that I have recently got into some urban logging and am planning on starting to mill my own lumber. And I've been using this Husqvarna 55 that was my father's that I've had for many years now. And it's a good saw, but I am pushing it to its limits. I've recently, replaced the internals of the chain brake, and that helped it a whole lot. It was dragging some, and it's not running the best. It could probably be turned up just a little bit, but at the end of the day, the kind of logs that I'm getting, it just didn't make sense for this saw. And I kept putting it off and kept putting it off because I didn't want to invest in a new saw. And the more I thought about it, and also once I realized that the logs that I'm easily getting my hands on are 36-inch hardwoods and require a much bigger saw, I finally thought that it was time to bite the bullet and buy a new saw. So D-Roy, you called it. This is the Stihl MS500i. It is the first production fuel injected chainsaw on the market. It's been here in America for about a year, and D-Roy, I was wrong on the price. It has dropped several $100s since it came out. I wasn't intending on buying this saw, even when I decided I was going to get a pro saw. I was looking at one that was a little bit cheaper, but when for just a few $100s more I could get the fuel injection, I thought it just made sense. Now I'm running a 25-inch bar on it. Stihl recommends that you can use all the way up to a 36-inch bar on this. I probably will be getting a 36-inch bar, not to keep on it, because right now the 25 is perfect for what I've been doing. It's light. This saw doesn't weigh, I haven't weighed it, but I'd be surprised if it weighs more than my Husqvarna. It just feels like the same weight. It may be a little bit heavier, but it's a very light saw. And for what I've been doing, the 25 has been perfect. But what I'm thinking about doing is getting an Alaskan mill, and on some of these heavier logs, making the first cut where they lay and going down almost to the pith and cutting about the top third of the log off. I'm going to be quarter sawing a lot of them anyway, so that just makes sense. And it'll make the log quite a bit lighter so I can move around with my loader with my tractor. Right now, some of them, I can push them, but I can't lift them. So I probably will be ordering the 36-inch bar, and when I do, I'll get a rip chain and we'll show you all how that looks. But I've been extremely impressed with this saw. It is just, the first time I used it, it almost took my breath away because I've never used a saw that spun up quite that fast. And I've had big saws before. I don't remember if it was a 660 or an 880 I had. I'll post pictures in here if I can find it, but I had I believe a 2, 3, and 4 foot bar. Might have had a 60-inch bar, I can't remember. But that thing was a Homestead, but it was a whole lot heavier than this, and it took a long time to get up and get going. This thing, you pull the trigger, and that fuel injection, it's going. It's easy for me to sit here and talk about the difference between the two, but I think the only way for me to truly show you is to take them out and show you. So let's go out to the log garden, and we'll make a few cuts with each, and I'll show you the difference. Now I put a brand new chain on the Husqvarna, and I actually put an 18-inch bar on there so I can give it the best chance it can to get the most chain speed. And we'll start off just by cutting a small log, probably one of these branches off of this piece of oak right here. And I'll take a cookie off with the Husqvarna, and then I'll take one off with the Stihl. Now I've got about 1 tank of fuel ran through the Stihl already, so the chain is still fairly sharp, a little bit dull, but not enough to where it should matter. I gotta stop for just a second to show you this. How amazing is that? It's like a spider web inside of it. I might cut some cookies here, dry them out, put some epoxy on it, see if my wife might want some of those for decoration somewhere. That's pretty impressive there.
That's really cool. And that husqvarna cuts faster than I expected it.
Yeah, that's doing good. So now that is the best the Husqvarna has ran in a long time. I still think it might need a little adjustment on the carb because I don't feel like it's getting as fast as it ought to be. But it's doing pretty good. And on a, branches of that size, I don't need anything more. But I'm gonna go ahead and start this still up and I'll show you how it does on that. And then we'll move to something a little bigger.
I bet it'll zip right through.
So yeah, quite a bit of difference. So now I'm gonna move on to the end of this. This is about 18 inches. This has been on the small end of what I've been getting. What I've been getting has been more typically 36 inches. But let's try an 18-inch log with this Husqvarna.
Oh wow. That just...
Well, the good thing is I got off on the curve there too, so it is kind of a fair comparison. Now, a log like this is where the Husqvarna just isn't an option. When I first started thinking about getting a sawmill, I never thought I'd be getting logs like this. I live here in central Kentucky and these trees are common, but not as common as 18 to 24 inch trees, and I thought that all I needed was a 24-inch sawmill, that I just would be cutting smaller logs. But what I found is the logs that are easy to get my hands on are these 36-inch logs, because the average person doesn't have the equipment to get them, and they're just becoming readily available to me. So that's the reason I'm looking for a bigger mill, a hydraulic mill, and also what has made me realize the need for a bigger chainsaw. So now I'll show you, I'm gonna try to straighten this end up a little bit, and I'll show you how long it takes to get through actually I think this is a 37-inch log. So that would have taken me well over 5 minutes to do with the Husqvarna and the 24-inch or the 25-inch bar on it. Whereas I don't know how long that took me there. I'll have to look at it in the post footage, but yeah, it ate right through it. Obviously still has even bigger and more powerful saws than this one. But what I like about this one is it's big enough, it has the fuel injection, and it's light. It weighs about the same weight as my 55 does with the 18-inch bar. I haven't weighed them to see the difference, but just holding them and feeling them, I can't tell any difference. And to me, that's big. You know, it's just, I could use this all day and not be worn out. Well, if you like these kind of videos, hit that thumbs up button. If you don't like these kind of videos, hit that thumbs down button. Either way, leave me a comment telling me why. If you're not already a subscriber, I'd love to have you hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to get notified every time I put out a new video, hit that bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.